And it feels like spring out here today. It is a pretty day. Good morning, folks. So this axle, if I turn one wheel, say forward, the other one should roll backwards if it's an open differential. If it's limited slip, they will both turn the same direction. So, let's find out. That's gonna work. That's gonna work just dandy. Wish he hadn't had to cut those bolts off, but that's not that big a deal. I can get them out. He said that the rims were stuck on there so bad he couldn't get them off. The nuts that were on there were just rusted and bad. Well, that's kind of a bummer, but these come off easy. The drums do. So I got to pull this caliper off to get them off, but it's not a big deal. I can fix that. So first off, what I need to do, a whole lot of junk on here, like these steering or support arms, and this one, and a bunch of other stuff that I can take off. I don't have any use for this torsion bar. I can get rid of it. So, get the cutting torch here and get the chopping. UPS just came with my stub axles. Oh, let's see what these look like. Getting closer on the parts. Cool. Okay, so there is 4 of them. There's the hub part. And a spindle, complete, already put together. That's kind of nice. The other ones I looked at, they were separated. Dust cap. Cool. And there is 4 of them. Just what I need. This tarp I put on here really worked really better than I thought it was going to this winter. I wanted to build or buy, a topper for it, but this worked actually really well. The only thing, like I said before, I wish if I buy one or if I make one, I'm going to have doors on the side that open, because like right now, I need to get to that box, and everything's out of here pretty much, but I still got to scramble in there. I would have to anyway to get to that one, but these side ones I don't. So anyhow, today I got a wrench in there I gotta get, but today is such a pretty day. I mean, holy smokes, look at that. It doesn't get any nicer than right now. Temperature's perfect. Snow is melting. No wind. It is a nice day. So, I'm kind of thinking I could probably pull this tarp off. I'm sure it's going to snow again before we're really to spring, or rain real hard, but I don't think it's going to last. If it snows, it'll just be an inch or so and probably melt off that same day. I think I'm going to do it. One thing about him cutting those lug bolts off is at least now I can pull these calipers off and see what the brakes look like. Looking in here, I mean, you can kind of see them, but I think they got plenty of brake shoe on there, but it'd be easier to tell for sure with them off. Well, they don't really look too bad, but probably about half worn. Before I put this all back together and in place, I'll probably get new pads, because that's going to be one of the most important things to this, for the steering. I'm going to be using the brakes constantly. Okay, so now I need to go to the auto parts store and get some new lug nut bolts. They're usually like $2 or $3 a piece. That ain't no big deal. The other thing that's kind of neat with this this drums or brake setup is it has drums on the inside. These pads need replaced too. They look pretty worn, but that's for your emergency brake. Actually, this one's missing, so yeah, they they definitely need replaced. But inside of your disc, Cindy's is the same way on her truck. It was the first time I'd seen that. But inside of your disc here is a drum brake. And it's for your emergency brake, but I could use it, depending on how I hook this up, I could use it to help me steer or as an emergency brake, which I have a feeling an emergency brake would be a good idea. Is, you know, like I say, I'm going to be using the brakes constantly, and coming down one of them steep hills, if one of them quits working, that ain't probably good. I don't know. As long as I'm not on the steep slope, it probably wouldn't matter, but brakes are usually kind of good. They do slow you down. I think I'm about ready to bring that over there and set it onto the frame. I wonder, I have to prop that up a little better first, I guess. I just looked. It's 43 degrees today. Talk about pretty day. So these things, all rusted out and falling apart. These little shield things, they're supposed to keep rocks from getting in between your discs and stuff. I think they do just the opposite. I've never had any luck with those. They come loose and they rub and scratch and gravel gets stuck in between. With this design, this little lip right here, it does kind of seal off that emergency brake drum. This one has two pads, so that other one is missing one. Now, I think I'm going to cut these off. This one's about to fall off anyway. It's all rusted out, and I don't really see where they can do anything except for cause me problems. That looks a lot better. They're going to be sharp. I'll have to get one of them flap sanders and sand it smooth. These can come off too. I don't need that. Maybe leave that one for now. So, yeah, see how this goes now? I can, well, let me grab the thing here. Okay, so that is pretty much the way that's going to sit. It's fairly well centered. I gotta move it this way just a tiny bit, it looks like. At one of the Russian ones I was looking at last night, they had the axle on top of the frame. And that way you got, let's see what this looks like. Get down here. Yeah, see, there's really nothing that's going to hang down. The differential won't drag in the snow, setting it that way. It might be hard to get into to change oil and that kind of thing. I should probably tear that apart and do it while I have it out. But this is going to put the wheels quite a ways out. Throw these drums back on, see what it looks like here quick. Tire rim on there. It'll probably go in about that far, which leaves quite a little ways between there and the frame. And it's going to sit above the frame anyway. The only spot it might rub is right here. So that would allow for a pretty darn wide track. The only thing is, the wider the track, the more metal I'll need for the cleats. It'll cost more. But see, what my thinking is, if I have this one in the back, like so, then the one out of my old truck, old truck, my new truck with the old rear end that went bad, if I take the spider gears out, it'll freewheel, and I can put it on the top of the frame over on this side. And so that'll put the wheels way high. And then the stub axles I got 4 of them, 2 for each side. It'll have a wheel right here and a wheel right there. So the track will go down, across, and then back up and across. So it's going to be a fairly long track. I can shorten it by moving the axle in. I wouldn't have to have it that long, but I think 8 feet long is probably a pretty good length. You're going to be sitting probably right about where this cross piece is. So that doesn't leave you a whole lot of cargo room. Your legs can go up here. The motor will be it'll sit back probably about to here. Put a firewall right there. That'll give you, that much room for your legs. That's not too bad. So if I'm going to be able to haul anything, it almost has to be that long. I could put one of those receiver hitch racks or something on the back and make it shorter that way, but that's kind of a hassle too. If I can keep it all inside where it's dry, it's kind of like that green tarp. That green tarp, it will probably be on here. That's probably what I'm going to end up using for the cab. That worked really well this winter. It did, being square on top, on top of there, the snow sat up on top of it, and if I didn't sweep it off, it would drip on the inside. Canvas is only somewhat waterproof, even with that. I don't know what the military uses for that waterproofing. It's kind of smelly stuff, but some sort of an oil on that canvas, and it's not wax, but it does drip a little bit. But on this, I'm thinking I'm going to make it a little bit domed, kind of more like a covered wagon, so the snow doesn't sit on top so bad. But anyway, I think for today, I've messed around with this long enough. I'll probably, I don't know, I need to build that welding bench and stuff tomorrow. So I'll probably mess with that tomorrow, and fairground stuff. I got to get this set up, and man, I'm running out of time for a lot of stuff. I got, what do I got? Four wolves and 3 wolves, maybe 4, I don't remember, and a bear in my freezer. I got to get out and get them fleshed and stretched before the flies come out too bad. Gotta get benches made, gotta do some leather work for the horse sale coming up, and I want to mess with this too, so it's gonna be busy. Anyway, what do you think of my deer mount? That's a pretty nice deer, ain't he? Except for his rubber. The skin and the hair and everything, it's all rubber. It's one of those, the horns are plastic. I found that at the secondhand store, and it was so annoying and so obnoxious, I had to buy it. It was, remember those mounted fish? They were rubber fish, little bass. They called them a big mouth Billy bass. It had a little motion sensor on it, and when you walked in front of it, it would sing some stupid song. It was very annoying. Can't remember which one now. Achy Breaky Heart or whatever. That was a horrible song. Anyway, this thing did the same thing. It would talk to you as you walked by and or sing a song. I don't know what I did with the little plug-in thing. If I can find it, I might hook it back up, but every shop should have a deer mount or poster with some half-naked lady or something on it, which would get me in trouble for this job, so deer mount's better. Well, anyway, not much of a video, I know, but see you folks tomorrow, and have a great rest of your day. Man, it's pretty today. I can't get over it. It's very, very welcome. See you folks. Bye.